Well, France is welcoming world leaders, tech bosses, and experts to the Artificial Intelligence Action Summit that starts in Paris today. Attendees, including the U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance and Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India, will be discussing the state of AI today, as well as future goals. Geopolitics surrounding the rapidly advancing technology will also be a focus as China and the U.S. fight it out to be number one. But Europe is hoping to offer a third way. Host France, in particular, wants to innovate and stay in the race, with President Macron announcing investments amounting to 109 billion euros. Morgan Eyre explains.
It's a technological innovation comparable to the printing press or electricity.
Without a doubt, it's one of the greatest transformations of modern times, and we have to decide whether or not we're on the right track and at the right speed.
France is looking for allies to ensure it doesn't miss out on the artificial intelligence curve. A €50 billion contract from the Emirates and another €20 billion from a Canadian fund. France is also counting on the support of India, which is co-chairing the summit in Paris. The French government says they want to diversify alliances to avoid being dependent. Money is AI's lifeline.
We're very good at raising money for soccer clubs. Why shouldn't we do it to finance our French excellence when it comes to artificial intelligence?
To stand up to the Chinese and American titans is a third way possible. Sovereignty is a major issue, and in this battle, France is conceding there is some way to go.
We Europeans are a little behind.
Paris will be AI's world capital this week, hosting heads of states and CEOs. At the heart of the AI summit, there will be questions on regulation and how Europe can stand out. France's AI ecosystem is made up of 2,000 startups, engineers, 300 data centres and soon 35 new sites.
With President Trump's announcement on the Stargate project, or China's DeepSeek, there are no rules. They're put aside. The European Union and France have opted for a more measured approach.
This week, France also announced its intention to equip 6 million public agents with AI software to facilitate their work, a further step in this revolution.
We're going to talk more about AI and France's role in the technology with the founder and CEO of Seedext, who joins me on the set, Inès Besbes. Hello, Inès. Welcome.
Hi.
So you have just come over from the Grand Palais, where the AI Summit is currently underway. Just tell us first, what's the feeling like there at the moment?
Well, it's bustling right now. We see CEOs, we see researchers, we see tech journalists. So it's a crazy atmosphere because we have different talks as well. So yeah, it's a very, very particular atmosphere over there.
And you, of course, are a key player in the AI sector at the moment here in France. You've created a company called Seedext. I mean, just tell us a bit more about what that company does.
So we created a speech-to-text solution. So basically, it's a note-taker, but it's not any note-taker that you can find on the market. It's extremely secured, so any company can use it, from big corporations, public corporations, or even SMEs. We have also a note-taker that is extremely personalized. So basically, depending on your job, on the area where you're working, basically it understands what you do and it creates the perfect note-taking solution for your job. So for HR, for sales, for project managers. And then we have an analysis of basically the conversation that you may have during virtual or physical meetings.
Now, you say it's safe, but I guess one of the key questions is, I mean, how can you guarantee to companies where they might have confidentiality issues, NDAs, how can you guarantee that that information is not going to be out somewhere out there?
So we guarantee it because basically we have an open source LLM that we plug within our virtual machines. So basically it runs through our own machines that we control, and we encrypt every single data. So this encryption is basically the key for companies to say that, you know, nobody can have access to their information, not even us, not even them within the company. So just the user has access to their own data. And with this, we create a closed database, which means basically every company has their own database, and they train it and make it more and more personal. And that's why we also have this asset within the company, is that we create this personalized AI that is trained on your own data and your own conversations.
So here we're talking about mostly note-taking. That's mostly what Seedext does. Tell us more generally about AI. How can it really change and help in the workplace?
So it helps definitely the different jobs in the market to perform better, to be more efficient, and we need to have concrete applications. So right now we have applications in the workplace like the note-taking, but we have also emails, we have also PowerPoint solutions, we have Excel solutions. Basically, we have different types of assets that we use, and AI is not new right now. AI has been already for decades on the market, but right now we're using generative AI to perform better and to have solutions that are basically 10 times faster or 10 times more responsive.
So how far can you see AI actually going into the future? I mean, take, for example, even something like with what you're doing. Could we get to a point where, for example, the text is then spoken back to a manager, say, who's on her way home from work and wants to listen to it? I mean, how far can it go?
Well, AI right now is basically accompanying every collaborator to be more performing, but right now they're passive. Tomorrow, the AI is going to be active. So basically, you can have a coach within your own meeting telling you, oh, you have 5 minutes left. You forgot to talk about this topic. Or they can basically predict what's going to be said at the end of the meeting and say, okay, we're going to conclude on this. But do you have anything else that you want to add on this specific topic? And then you can even push it way further and make it as for example, a manager whatsoever that is going to manage every single very tedious tasks and make them all together so the team basically just focus on their own job and don't focus on anything else that is external to what they do.
Right. So a lot of it, of course, is about efficiency. I mean, what about the very real fears that many people have to use AI? I mean, even though many people use it in their day-to-day lives, taking it that one step further scares a lot of people. I mean, what do you have to say to that?
Well, fear obviously comes whenever there's a big technology coming. When we think about the internet, when it started, everybody also was being afraid of what's going to happen. So it's mostly the uncertainty that makes people being fearful today. But the goal is that we need to educate the market, educate the people, accompany them. Today with Seedext, what we do is we go to companies, we don't just give them a solution. We give them a solution and we tell them how to use it, how it can give them a benefit, and really educate the market in that way. And I think every single AI players should do the same thing.
What about France's role in all of this? I mean, the French president announcing that there's going to be a 109 billion euro investment in French AI. Is that enough to keep up with big players like the US and China?
Well, investment is the key right now for startups like us. We need funding to recruit, to be competitive on the market, to give better prices, to take care about security. At a scale, France with $100 billion, I think, is similar to the scale of the US with $500 billion. So right now, what we need to do is how to use those $109 billion to where are we going to allocate it? Is it going to be data centers, supercomputers? Is it going to be for startups? Is it going to be for research? So this is, I think, the biggest question we should ask.
And how do you use AI in your own life? I mean, if you were going to give a tip to someone who's never used AI in their life, what would you say? What's the best place to start?
The best place to start is first ask a question of what do you do every day that is annoying you? Is there a way that you can optimize whatever is annoying for you in your day-to-day? Is it writing emails, for example? Is it, I don't know, posting something on social media or create anything? You will find an AI solution for this.
All right, Inès, thank you so much for coming in to talk to us. Inès Besbes, the founder and CEO of Seedext. Thank you so much.
Thank you.